What's going on, guys? Tower number 9 here, and we are presenting Kotal versus Keaa San here in the Take the Initiative Season 0.5 online league. Kotal, Kotal is Kotal is on the left here, playing Grand Inquisitor with the Vigilance special base security complex, and on the right we have Keaa San playing a much more conventional Command Boba. Keaa San has the advantage in this situation. He's played there were a few plays that we missed, but the players recapped it for me when I joined the round here. And so the we have here a situation where the Boba has ramped with a super laser tech, which I believe is this card here, and then has been able to use Bosk to take out Fifth Brother after Kolo was using it to attack the base. Um, the crafty smuggler that Keaa San had from earlier in the game is also still alive. However, uh, we have yet to see Kolo play anything this turn, so we will have to see how that goes. All right, so that's gonna about do it. And I'm going to tell the players they are good to go, and we will see how things continue. There is Malbus here from Kotal, so 4 cost 2/5 with grit. While you have the initiative, this unit gains Sentinel. However, currently Keaa San is the one with the initiative. Uses Grand Inquisitor's ability to deal 2 damage to Baze and ready him. Ironically, Baze, despite being Chirrut's friend in the film, seems to go best with Grand Inquisitor. Boba then takes out Baze, readies up 2 more resources, plays out a 7th Fleet Defender, and Crafty Smuggler hits the base for 2. Kotal is very far behind at this point. Let's see how things continue here. So Kotal needs to try and deal with Bosk. I mean, there's just a lot of problems right now for Kotal. He's far behind. He does have he does have more cards in hand, and he has dealt more damage to his opponent's base. But it's nevertheless a situation where it seems to me that he's at a major disadvantage because of how much of a board Keaa San has. Now, I think this build that Kotal is using is intended to be more of an aggro deck, but uh, unfortunately, I think here that he is maybe at a disadvantage playing against a mid playing against a mid-range opponent here. Torian says hello there. Hey, how's it going? I think there's a slight delay here. There was another player who was streaming this match in Polish, but has unfortunately had to go. So the players were pausing to see whether or not that stream was going to continue. Looks like it will probably not. Let's see what Kotal can do to try to get out of this situation. Maybe we could have like a bombing run. A bombing run to the ground arena would actually be sick right now, but he does not have that. I actually don't even know if that's in his deck list, to be fair. Seventh Sister hits the board, so Seventh Sister, if not dealt with, could be really annoying. So 5 cost 3/6. When this unit deals combat damage to an opponent's base, you may deal 3 damage to a ground unit that opponent controls. Not a great unit for some, but with Grand Inquisitor, there's some real synergy there. However, that does take all of Kotal's resources, and Keaa San still has quite a few available. Yeah. Is he going to use Grand Inquisitor to ready Seventh Sister? He decides to pass instead. We see a steadfast battalion hit the field. ECL was already used, so the steadfast battalion is not going to ambush Seventh Sister here. Um, Kotal passes again. But this board state is just incredibly negative for Kotal. Keaa San just takes the initiative. Gives up a lot of potential attacks, but this will allow him to attack Seventh Sister with the Steadfast Battalion at the start of the turn here, potentially. Defeating her and doing one overwhelm, and then still having this huge board. I think this game is pretty over, to be honest. Yeah, so Steadfast Battalion used here on attack. If you control a leader unit, give a friendly unit +2/+2 for this phase. Uses the ability on itself, which I think is the most common use that we've seen in this ability. Becomes a 7/7, attacks and defeats the Seventh Sister, and does one overwhelm to the base as well. Now we see Grand Inquisitor being deployed. Unfortunately, he's only 3/6, a weak stat line for a unit that deploys at 6 resources. But we'll see what happens here. Seventh Fleet Defender hits the base for 3. Grand Inquisitor can actually take out Bosk or Boba here while remaining alive. Could be a strong play. Torin asks, says, "I'm fine, thank you. How are you going?" I'm doing pretty well. Kind of early in the morning for me. Still recovering from illness, but I have been feeling better recently, so we'll have to see how that goes. Will uses Grand Inquisitor to defeat Bosk. As you can see, I am still a bit sick. So Grand Inquisitor defeats Bosk, only to himself be defeated by the Smuggler. Ooh, nice. Ruthless Raider arrives, dealing 2 damage to base and 2 damage to the 2 damage to the Steadfast Battalion. The Steadfast Battalion has +2/+2 until end of phase, but will die at the end of the phase when those temporary stats wear off. Another Steadfast Battalion hits the field. Kotal takes the initiative. Boba Fett hits 4 damage to the base. I think that's wrong. No, wait, no, it's not wrong. Because Seventh Sister was killed this turn. So one interesting thing about Boba's ability is that an enemy unit has to leave play, and defeated leaders do not leave play. Um, we see Greedo being played as well. Kotal's got to come up with something to deal with Boba here, or else that Steadfast Battalion's a huge problem for him. Let's see what he can do. Are you thinking a resource decision there, it looks like? Forced choke to kill Boba. That also means that the Steadfast Battalion is no longer going to be able to give itself the bonus stats because a leader unit is no longer on the field for Keaa San. Keaa San does get to draw a card from Forest Choke, the downside of that card. 5 to base from the Steadfast Battalion, and it looks like Kotul is at this point trying to pressure, or Keaa San is trying to pressure Kotul's base here. Raider does 4 to base. It's looking bad for Kotul here. Or it's looking bad, yeah, bad for Kotul here. Oswald deployed. Don't think it's a very relevant play. Keaa San can just take initiative here and probably win the Steadfast Battalion unless there's another forced choke. Oh, that's Fire Spray. Looks like it's going to end this turn instead. And Kotul immediately concedes in response to the Fet's Fire Spray hitting the field. Tough game there for Kotul. Bug just got such an advantage in the early game and mid game there that it felt like he was really fighting from behind. Let's see what's going to happen as we move on to game 2. The players will get a chance to sideboard here. Players now sideboarding these decks. Let's see what options are available. So Kotal could be adding Make an Opening. That's actually a very good card against Boba, so I probably would add it. Takedown. Bombing Run actually is available in the deck, but as a sideboard card or System Patrol Craft. Keaa San could be adding Change of Heart, probably not so good in this matchup. Uh, Consortium Star Viper, also probably not so good in this matchup. Confiscate, which might actually be a good include given that Kotal is playing the Fallen Lightsaber, or Cell Block Guard, which I think is not amazing. Okay, well, let's see what happens next. Looks like it's a mulligan for Keaa San and a mulligan for Kotal as well. Okay, okay. Viper Probe looking at from Kotal, looking at Keaa San's hand, sees Crafty Smuggler, Super Laser Tech, Defender, and No Good to Be Dead. Really strong hand from Keaa San. And it looks like Crafty Smuggler is going to be the play for Keaa San, a good opponent for that Viper Probe droid. Crafty Smuggler coming to play with a shield, puts it in a good spot to take out the probe. Keaa San's going to counter by using Security Complex to give the Viper Probe Droid a shield of its own, but I think it's probably going to be taken out. I think what we're going to see is the Crafty Smuggler trade shields and then a Super Laser Tech ambush to kill the Viper Probe Droid and advance the resources ahead. Shields down, hits the base for 3. Super Laser Tech ambush, exactly as foreseen here. And extra resource now available thanks to Boba Fett's ability. So a 2-cost card. I don't think we saw another 2-cost unit, but we could see No Good to Be Dead played here. Or he might have drawn into another crafty smuggler or, some other two-cost unit of his own. I think he has crafty smuggler, Greedo, and Viper probe, and actually the frontline shuttle as well. Make an opening used to kill the crafty smuggler and heal 2 damage from base, but no damage has been taken by the base yet. Make an opening, obviously a much better card if you play it while your opponent still has the shield. I'm actually sort of confused by what happened there. I feel like Kotal should have had the initiative. Oh no, because he used his security complex. He probably didn't know that he had the make an opening. He probably just drew it, and otherwise would have been in a better spot. So we see Guardian of the Wills, 2 cost 2/2. First upgrade you play on this unit each round costs 1 less. Greedo arrives. Boba Boba deploys, and Keaa San uses Guardian of the Wills to force throw Boba, discarding the 7th Fleet Defender and dealing 3 damage to Boba Fett there. That's a reasonable play. Boba Fett attacks and defeats the Guardian of the Wills, readying the remaining resource. Initiative taken by Kotal, and then we see Bosk on the field. Well, once again, Keaa San is moving into the mid game with a huge advantage over Kotal. Let's see if Kotal can come back. He did manage to do a fair amount of damage to Boba Fett here. Let's see what else he can potentially do. If he put if he put that bombing run in, it would be pretty strong here. It would wipe Boba, wipe Greedo, and deal major damage to Bosk. Looks like it's actually going to be a pass, though. Another pass. Frontline shuttle on the field. Action, defeat this unit. Attack with the unit even if it's exhausted. It can't attack bases for this attack. Very strong card. Total spending 5 resources. Probably another 7th Sister. That's exactly right. 7th Sister hits the field. 5 cost 3/6 with Saboteur, and when this unit deals combat damage to an opponent's base, you may deal 3 damage to a ground unit that opponent controls. Problem is, Greedo and Bosk can just team up and kill her. Though, interestingly, looks like that's not the play. Just going for the base. Maybe trying to bait Kotal into using Grand Inquisitor's ability, and then following up with No Good to Me Dead, maybe? But Kotal just takes the initiative. That is probably a better play than using the Inquisitor's ability here. Um, 7th Sister will be able to attack the base, deal 3 damage, and defeat Boba if Keaa San doesn't do something to handle her. Greedo swings into her for 3 damage, is defeated himself, and then we see the frontline shuttle used to attack with the exhausted Bosk and also defeat her. The frontline shuttle is itself defeated, but it may have served its purpose here. Once again, a bombing run for Kotal would be great, but I don't know if he's actually put it in from his sideboard. Death Trooper hits the field. Nice play. Probably you want to kill Bosk here with that Death Trooper. So when played, 2 damage to a friendly ground unit and 2 damage to an enemy ground unit, deals 2 damage to itself and 2 damage to remove Bosk. If Kotal has another Death Trooper to take out Boba, it could be great. Ooh, looks like Vader commanding the First Legion hits the board. 7 cost 5/7 with ambush, searching the top 10 cards of the deck for any number of villainy units with combined cost 3 or less and playing each of them for free. It's going to add Cell Block Guard to the field. And then ambushing and defeating the Death Trooper. Little does 3 resources and can deploy Grand Inquisitor this turn, but it's looking like still very behind. Power of the Dark Side, forcing one of Keaa San's units to be removed. Mhm. Which unit will it be? Inception asks who won game one. Keaa San was the victor in game one. So if Keaa San can secure the win here, he will win the match as a whole. Looks like Keaa San opts to lose Vader. Grand Inquisitor deploys. 4 damage to base from Boba. Grand Inquisitor probably going to swing and take out the cell block guard here. That's exactly right. 2 resources left for Keaa San. Takes the initiative. We're going to move to the next turn. Well, the board has become a lot more even. We now have both leaders on low HP and not a lot else on the field. But Keaa San has done a lot more damage to Kotal's base than Kotal has to Keaa San's base. Let's see how things continue. Looks like it is a crafty smuggler, not the finest card ever. I was sort of thinking it was going to be that no good to me dead, but I guess that has been resourced or something. Is this going to be a ruthless raider to kill Boba? Looks like it is. Ruthless Raider hits the field. When played or when defeated, deal 2 damage to enemy base and 2 damage to enemy unit. Boba Fett defeated. Total now actually with a board advantage. Keaa San does have some cards remaining. Going to play something that costs 5. Overwhelming Barrage on the Crafty Smuggler, killing Inquisitor and dealing 1 damage to the Raider. Not the best Overwhelming Barrage ever, but at least he got that opposing leader off the board. So now the board does favor Keaa San. He has a strong unit and his opponent has a kind of basic unit, but the base HP totals, or I'm sorry, the board favors Kotal, but the base HP totals favor Keaa San. Keaa San continuing to resource while Kotal opts to get more of a card advantage, it looks like. 4 damage to base. Fett's Fire Spray hits the field though. We could see a make an opening, kill the crafty smuggler, followed up by a power of the dark side. That would be a really good play for Kotal if he has it. Nope, it's going to be a fifth brother. 5 to base. Maybe though he could use the fifth brother to kill the crafty smuggler and then use a power of the dark side to kill Fett's Fire Spray. Very possible line of play. I don't know for sure if it'll happen. Kotal considering his options here. 3 resources. Oh no! A substantial misplay from Kotal. He plays a fallen lightsaber on his fifth brother, but this means that the fifth brother is now, well, maybe it's not a misplay, but he can't use Grand Inquisitor on fifth brother now because the fallen lightsaber puts him out of range of that. The fallen lightsaber does give him bigger numbers, but I don't know if that's what he most needs. I guess he probably didn't have another plan. I'm surprised he didn't damage. Well, I guess he would have to trade with the smuggler then, which is underwhelming. Nice. Make an opening, kills the smuggler and heals 2. Keaa San waylays the fifth brother. Is there a power of the dark side to clear this Fett's Fire Spray? It'll be huge if there is. Yes, he has it. Power of the dark side clearing Fett's Fire Spray. 5 resources for Bosk. Could take the initiative here or could make an attack with the Ruthless Raider. Tough call. His base HP is just very low. I don't know that he has a lot of great answers to that Bosk. I guess he could have another Power of the Dark Side. He could have a Forced Choke. Both of those would kill Bosk actually pretty directly. He goes for the Florida base instead. Initiative taken by Keaa San, and we're going to go on to the next turn. Now Kotal has started resourcing again. 8 resources for both players here. Greedo hits the field. Not sure why it wasn't just an attack with Bosk. Maybe trying to get around a potential second Power of the Dark Side, or a potential third one. Forced Choke would now be, I think, Kotal's only way to defeat Bosk before it attacks. Four for something. Let's see what it is. Baze Malbus on the field. Doesn't have the initiative though, so he's not a Sentinel. Overwhelming Barrage. Able to give out a total of 8 damage thanks to Bosk's ability. So he can't kill both units, but he can kill one unit and put major damage on the other. So he's going to kill Baze and then deal 3 damage to the 3 damage there, 1 from the barrage and then 2 from Bosk's ability. And now Bosk is going to be able to swing for 6. Fifth brother on the field. I think this is game over though. Plays a shoot first, hits the base for 7, deals 2 damage to fifth brother, which now means that Grand Inquisitor's ability can't be used to ready fifth brother. And I think that is game. I don't think Kotal takes the initiative, but I don't think there's any escape with the base on 1 HP and 2 opposing units that can each attack and defeat. I guess he could draw another base and play it, and then he would at least have a Sentinel. Or he could use Cell Block Guard. Fifth brother attacks. Okay, so attacks Greedo. He get looks like he's gonna get a double kill, killing both Greedo and Bosk with Fifth Brother. Nice. I didn't realize that was an available play. But so the way this worked is the 1 damage from Fifth Brother kills Greedo. Greedo misses the top deck to kill Fifth Brother, and then Fifth Brother, having taken 5 total damage, has enough power to defeat Bosk. I did not realize that was something that Kotal would be able to do. And it means he's gonna stay alive at least for this turn. Boba Fett Disintegrator deployed by Keaa San. Takes initiative here. Doesn't have an out for Boba probably and needs to draw into one. Kotal has been doing much better this time than in the previous round. Forced choke here, I think we're going to see against Boba. Exactly right. Forced choke gets Boba off the field. Vader commanding the First Legion arrives, though. That's going to be a huge obstacle for Keaa San. No ambush, but does get to search and find another friendly, at least one other villainy unit with combined. So you can get up to you can get up to 3 units if you had 3 villainy 1 costs. Um, oh yeah, so players in chat. The chat was lagging a bit for me here, so I didn't see these messages. But um, Inception points out that Fifth Brother can kill both. Yep, and that is correct. Cell block guard plus Vader. Looking bad. Looking bad for Kotal here. Now, the funny part of this game is I actually feel like Kotal was gaining an advantage, but the base HP was so against him that he had to play substantially less efficiently than he would have otherwise. So, for instance, on the previous turn, he wasn't able to attack with his Raider because he had to take initiative, so Boba didn't just defeat him. Um, Whereas attacking with Raider while the opponent attacks with Boba would normally be favorable for Kotal in terms of the total damage being inflicted. He's not conceding though. He might have some other option. Maybe we're going to see a cell block guard on Kotal's side, for instance. Could at least stave off an initial attack. Nope, just going to take initiative. Unfortunate. And this is one of the downsides. When you're really at critical HP in this game, there's that risk of sort of like checkmate where your opponent takes initiative with an attack that can defeat you as the first action. So in order to avoid that, Kotal takes initiative again, but I don't know that there's any out that will save him here. And he says he does not have one, so that's going to be the game. Kotal concedes here, and it's going to be a win for Keaa San. Much closer than the first game. Keaa San again had a great start, but Kotal did a much better job in the mid game. Unfortunately, the damage that he had taken was just too much, and he was not able to bring it back. Yeah, interesting scenario, but ultimately not one where ultimately not one where Kotal was able to get the win. So Keaa San is going to advance to the next round of the Take the Initiative Season zero point 0.5 Top Cut, and we're going to have to see how this goes. All right, that's going to about do it for this one, guys. Thanks to y'all for watching, and we will be back later with some more Star